We need to set the body down onto the chassis, exactly where it's going to set on the cushions, on the mounts, so we can find out if we have enough clearance. I want to know now if we have to do anything. I want to find out now if the Silver Sport transmission doesn't hit the pinch weld where the firewall meets the floor. So this is just a pre-fit of the body, because if this fits, we're able to take the body back off, get it on a rotisserie and start replacing panels on it and finish plumbing out the chassis. What do you think of that, Dougie? Dougie?
Sounds like a plan.
So I'm going to have you lower the car down. I'm going to watch for clearance. We've already done some measuring. We're probably pretty close. But if you look right here at these body mounts, these physically have to go through these holes right down here. That's the alignment. But right now, we've got it what looks to be lined up that way. It's kind of like putting in the K-member. So when we're doing this dry fit of the body over the frame, keep in mind, folks, I'm a unibody guy. I work on the 66 to 74 Mopar stuff. So this is a little out of my wheelhouse, pun intended. So if that thing comes down right, I know this is going to be close to the firewall, just like it was in our Superbird. That cooling neck that comes off the back of that supercharger, it goes back inside quite a ways. So are you ready to try that?
I am ready.
All right. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and start lowering it down? I'm really looking forward to putting the body shell down on the frame itself. And my biggest concern, does it fit? Is the engine, those super tall third generation Hemis, going to have an interference problem with the firewall? Because if it does, we have to decide right then. We can't change our mind on the engine. If it doesn't fit, we're either going to modify the firewall or we're going to modify the frame. Both of them are going to set us back. Stop right there. Literally, look at that clearance between the top of that rib and the back of that manifold.
Oh my gosh.
A millimeter? That's pretty good. Okay, keep going. This is looking really good. That's it. Look at that.
We're on?
Yep. So does my board go uphill or downhill?
Downhill. Right there's level.
Do you own a level?
Yeah, I see what you're doing. That is great. Yes, I own a level. I own several of them. 6'1", 8 feet 1. We use them all the time in the body shop. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are gold. In this application, I didn't need a level. I used the word level, and I'm sorry for that. Gold, Jerry, gold! Seinfeld. All I wanted to achieve was to have the board pretend to be the bottom of the hood. That's all I wanted. So when I was saying level, I didn't mean level to the world. I meant level with the car and have the trajectory go straight out so I knew if I had clearance between the two. That fits really nice. So we're not going to be able to use these manifolds. Remember we were talking about with that frame clearance by the time we put the gear in there? It's going to have an interference. You can't just bolt a fender on it and the hood on it. You have to put the inner fenders on it, the core support back in it, which we didn't even have done and back yet. So to be able to put the sheet metal on it and have a 100% pure dry fit was impossible. That's the reason behind the board, okay? Are you still optimistic about SEMA? We got, what, like 80 days? That's more time than we had for the little dead wagon. We'll make it. We'll make it. I guarantee we'll make it. We need to find somebody to build us a radiator for this thing. Well, at this point, I have no idea exactly what our cooling capacity is going to be and what's going to fit and what's not. So in all likelihood, I'll have to have a custom radiator made for it. That, folks, is what happens when the sun is shining on you. The sun shines on a dog's butt once in a while, and it just shined on us. Right, Dougie?
Yep.
Hey, Dad. What you looking at?
It's a Charger 500.
Don't bring that in, please. We're at capacity. No more cars.
Shoot.
So, have you heard that the Howlet lift is broken?
The whole lot? I have heard through the grapevine that it has a problem.
Yeah. So, I just want to know, like, do you know what happened to it?
The whole lot?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Probably one of the monkeys out there. Have you been out there and watched them work?
Well,
They're always screwing around with something. They broke the pressure
I
washer.
just want to show you something. You were the last person.
Edit this! Oh.
That's you.
Yeah,
So,
that's...
yeah, I'm not really surprised. That sounds like something my dad would do. I just thought he was done doing that now, so.
I see what you're doing. Okay.
Dad, this is
well, I doubt very
embarrassing.
much. Well, first of all,
Remember,
I'm
like, you
doing a
promised
dance
after the
move, so
rap
if that's
video that you were
embarrassing,
gonna
why don't you
stop
call
this
Michael
stuff.
Jackson and tell him to stop
He
doing
was
dance
good.
moves? Yeah, well, that's good too.
That's What the f- is that?
It's called the super thrust.
You
I came up with it. I
assaulted
mixed
the howlet and
I
you
didn't
broke it,
assault
and now I have to
anything.
fix it. And
Okay,
it's-
well, why are you in here talking to me when you should be out there fixing it?
Can you just not
I
do
don't
that
need
anymore?
a blow-by-blow report on what gets broken around here. If I did, I'd never leave my office.
So I'm going to make a note and stick it on the machine of things you can do and things you're not allowed to do on the machine, as stupid as that is, but I guess that we need to have that for everybody. Can we just agree on something? Can you please not, like, assault any more of our pieces of equipment?
Go out and find out who did it. Radio, video.
On top of that, you know what? I'm going to let Howlett know this is how you're using
Boogie
their
with
lift.
a briefcase.
I don't think they're going to like that very much. I didn't give that to you.
Go living in
break.
the disco.
God, I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay.
Forget about the rat race.
Bye, Dad.
I'm very proud of Alyssa. She did a great job in the case of the whole lot, right? She had a piece of equipment that allegedly was not working, and she went around here and found out who had their hands on it. When was the last person that used it? What was it used for? She did a great job of sleuthing. What she ended up determining after her crack shot investigations is that there was nothing wrong with the unit at all.
Oh.
What's
Looking
up?
for this thing. I got to fix it. How'd you get in there?
Like this?
Yeah, like that. Exactly. Of course I go out there and I see Ezra on there. That's probably where he's been pilfering all the brake cleaner. He probably fixed the machine with it.
The unit wasn't broken. I didn't break it by doing my magic hip thrusts, which I can't really elaborate on, but in some situations it can break things. In this particular case, the only thing that was broken was Cousin Dougie, which if she listened to my stories and quit thinking I'm making them up, she would realize that his dogs ain't all barking. One day I walk out of the garage on South 4th Street. He's out there in the front yard with a 22 shell in his hand and a match. And he's holding the match underneath the 22 shell. I said, "What you doing?" He says, "Well, I want to see if it'll blow up." Well, Deb, by the time you find out if it'll blow up, and it really does, it's going to take your face off. Right? No, I don't. It's just a 22. Okay, well, you do that experiment all on your own. I'll see you later. I turned around, started to walk back in the house, and I hear pop, and then scream. His whole face, all of his hairs are burned back, singed back, so it just looks like he's got a really tight afro. And he had that little beginning hairs of a mustache all balled back up again. And his face glowed like he'd put armor all on it, right? He was all shiny. It was shrapnel all over his face. But he's right in one way. It wasn't, it wasn't a 44 Magnum Automag, the world's most powerful handgun, Clint Eastwood. It was a 22 shell. Now, how many guys are going to blow up a 22 shell in their own hand just to see if it works? That's not right. Something's wrong. He zigged when he should have zagged. My mom made sure I always zagged. Hello, Ghouls. Mark Warman here, the Ice Tray from Graveyard Carz. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. We have fantastic stuff coming up, and some of it you've never seen before. I gotta go insult people.